Good to go. So we're going to go over the training and safety for the AMR40 lift aloft green lift that is out in the shop right now. It's essentially just a vertical lift with an extendable arm, and that serves the purpose of, I believe, just mostly the vertical on the outside, whatever you guys typically do for it. Big difference between the Genie and this one just because it has a boom, it's not a platform specifically. So we're going to go over the safety requirements. That starts on page 1, and then I have a video just as the manufacturer has a nice little walk around or a little demonstration of everything, and then we'll go over the pre-inspection that goes along with it, the operation, and then there's not really too much maintenance. It's mostly just check the fluids and make sure nothing's damaged. If something is damaged, alert your supervisor, and then probably needs replacement parts or something along those lines. There is a pneumatic nozzle on there for hand tools if needed. So whatever you need or whatever it's applied for. I believe that's why this one was purchased and has this thing, is there's a pneumatic insert for it. So you can go ahead and hook up a hand tool into that one. So all of the safety requirements for that stuff is mostly just be aware of your power tool and don't put yourself in any risk of injury, and don't overreach out of the basket, as that can introduce a fall hazard. So let's go straight into the warnings. So we have the warnings here. Essentially, it's all the same as the Genie lift. Don't go on any excessive inclines, and try not to move your actual lift while in the fully raised position. Always be cautious of your rapid movements and everything. A minimum distance of 10 feet must be maintained between potential conductors and the operator. So you guys do have live overhead electrical connections, so just be aware of those and don't get too close to those. This one suggests a minimum of 10 feet. For surface conditions, always be aware of the ground you're driving over and working on. We don't want to run into any potholes and cause a potential tip, and we don't want to go on an excessive incline and then cause a tip that as well. We want to be on a flat working surface. Do not raise on an incline or a ramp. Always be in the lowest possible setting. Don't extend too much, and then mostly get into position and then raise yourself in the man lift. Alright, the traffic path is supported by the surfaces and must be sufficiently firm and safely hold both the unit and its load, meaning the person inside the platform. Please take note of any of the warning stickers and everything, and the nameplate that's on the actual machine, so that you are aware of the total platform capacity and the load of yourself and whatever tools you are taking up in the lift, and make sure that they don't exceed the equipment's maximums, so that we reduce as many hazards as possible. Never attach a harness to an adjacent structure when working on the platform. Always attach yourself to the boom, because you might get apart or cause any kind of major injury there. It's one of the general safety rules. Never use the unit without the platform railings or any partial railings. So they're in place right now. If any adjustments are made to that, I guess that should be against the rules, a big no-no. There's doors, but they only open in one direction, so if you ever push against them, they won't open in the outward direction. They just allow you inside, never outside. Do not use ladder boxes or similarly dangerous objects to gain an additional reach within the platform. Just try not to do anything excessive and don't climb on the outside. Never lean over the railing. If the work cannot be safely reached, reposition for safer access. Make sure the personal platform, you have your hands, arms, and etc. within the perimeter of the platform when in motion. You don't want to risk any of those crushing injuries we went over on the last lift. So just be aware of your surroundings and any of the obstacles that you're potentially run into with, the parts or metal parts that are in the air. Do not climb on the elevated mechanism. Just like we talked about before, you can just know that potential slip, fall, or crushing injury due to any of the equipment that's being worked with. Do not use the railings or support for carrying any materials and loads. Always just kind of make sure whatever you're taking up with you is able to be done within the platform, and then any of the excess railings can cause any number of hazards depending on if you're running into an obstacle, and then you kind of pinch yourself into a situation if it's overhanging. Do not permit any materials to overhang from the platform, just repeating that. Do not attach overhanging loads outside of the platform as well, causing an excessive tip if the load is uneven and not central to the platform. Do not transfer from the platform to another structure when working aloft, unless the unit is equipped with a special factory option. So I assume that's like some kind of floor transfer or
door. Ladder gate.
There's a gate on it, so some of that, but there's no like cage or any excessive guarding that's there. Typical guarding. Do not transfer from platform to another structure when working aloft unless retractable overhead lanyard no longer than 11 feet is properly installed. I believe you all will probably just have harness the lanyard from wherever you have. There's 2 attachment points, I believe, and you want to be making sure that you're always attached or tied off to one of those. Avoid swing falls, working in front of or no more than 45-degree angle to the front of the platform. Before lowering the platform, make sure the area surrounding the platform is clear of personal and other hazards. Before raising the platform, be certain that the area above and around of the unit is free of obstructions and the platform remains at a safe distance from the electrical lines and other conductors. Another warning, so mostly you want to go over the pre-inspection. It would be the same thing of like any visible damage is always going to be a red flag. You want to make sure your batteries and the wires or any connections are just properly intact and that nothing is really frayed or damaged. Please alert your supervisor if you run into any damages, just to make sure that the equipment you're working with is in proper working condition. So on a daily basis, before the unit is placed into service, it is given a thorough inspection by the operator and the designated personnel to determine its readiness for safe use. And Matt, can you check just to make sure that it's still okay? And then for the daily pre-use inspections, before you put it into work, always check the overall appearance and cleanliness, just to make sure all the labels and placards are visible and you're able to see what's going on. Examine the platform area to make sure that all the guardrails and kick plates are in place and they're not damaged and they're free of debris, you're not going to slip, loose items. Examine the hydraulic fittings, make sure that there's no leakages because that'll just cause potential for any kind of injury or damage to the machine itself. Examine the unit for telltale signs of lubrication or leaking lubrication, and then if any preventative maintenance needs to be performed. So if we're low on any fluids, we want to be aware of that. Check the unit for operating modes and establish that all the functions are operating correctly in the free form of damage. So you basically want to run through okay, is every angle this thing is going to take, or whatever my workload for the day is going to be, I want to make sure the machine is able to tackle that. Examine the cam roller track, cylinder rods, and determine that they are free of dirt, debris, clean off the rods as required. Excuse me. Check the unit and be sure that the protective covers for the components, aka the valves, are installed and free of any external damage. Check the tires for any scrapes, cuts, or other damage that could adversely affect the unit operation and safety. Check that the self-closing gates operate improperly and the gates latch upon closing. And then visually check overall unit condition to verify that it's free from damage to the structural members from cracked welds or any other signs of misuse and abuse. So that will be your daily pre-inspection. Any one of those is kind of basically related to maintenance as well. So anything that is kind of like a red flag or violates any of these points will need to be addressed for maintenance and any potential repairs that need to go along with the unit. So now we're going to just leave this part here. This is the controls. And we'll go through the video really quick. Soon you guys can.
The AMR40 series was designed to offer the industrial customer the utmost in reach and maneuverability. This vertical mast lift with counterbalanced design is perfect for maneuvering in congested plant environments. With a base width of only 41 inches and a travel height under 8 feet, this unit can easily be driven in narrow aisles and under low clearances. The AMR40 is offered in different models featuring a maximum working height of up to 32 feet. The articulating arm on the AMR40 can be used to provide up to 8 feet 7 inches of reach. This reach can be achieved at any elevation of the vertical mast, unlike booms that offer a great deal of reach at lower elevations but provide less and less reach the higher they go. This feature makes the AMR40 ideal for positioning up and over obstructions like storage rack, conveyor belts, or assembly lines. The mast section of the AMR40 will rotate 360 degrees continuous and features minimal tail swing. This helps to position the operator while eliminating the threat of damage that could often result from the tail swing of booms or other products. The overall working diameter of the AMR40 in one position covers a distance of 17 feet. The controls on the AMR40 are proportional. They allow very smooth and precise control of the machine's motions. This provides the operator with a great deal of comfort and confidence. Making an operator feel comfortable and secure in an overhead environment will greatly improve productivity. The AMR40 series provides 500 pounds of capacity, enough for 2 workers and tools to be taken to the work site. The AMR40 can also be driven with platform in any position at any elevation. This allows the operator to drive from one location to the next without taking the time to lower and reposition, again, increasing productivity. Travel speed in the lowered position is proportional up to 2.5 miles per hour, and the AMR40 can climb a 15% grade. All of these features are designed to provide a safe, efficient way to work on overhead projects. The fiberglass body panels on the AMR40 give it a sleek appearance, but are also very functional. These panels provide quick access to the pump, motor, and other components. The rollout battery trays are also located inside these covers. The 48-volt battery pack coupled with the SevCon controller provide an excellent duty cycle and smooth performance. An onboard charger is also provided and can be plugged in to charge the batteries at any 110-volt electrical outlet. Also located behind fiberglass covers is the emergency manual override system. This system is designed to perform any function on the machine in the event of a total power failure. This system can also be used to troubleshoot electric or hydraulic problems. Built to meet the requirements of global markets, the AMR40 performs head and shoulders above the competition and provides customers with the quality and safety they deserve in an aerial work platform.
Have we given you guys the same work safety video for the last 40 years? Or?
Pretty much. Yeah,
They
that
said-
guy must have made a lot of money in that release, huh?
They said it offers a slick design. Yeah, in 1978. It's real slick.
Just for reference, the controls are on the actual unit at the floor level and then in the boom itself. So you're able to see here just all of the different features that are along with it. I don't think you're able to actually drive or move it front to back while on the floor level. You need to be in the carriage to drive it. And then just for reference, there's a 110-volt cord in the lower enclosure. And then we go to the, these are all just the general operations of the floor.
Next, they're going to play one of those shake hands with danger.
And so we've got the horn charge indicator here, motion alarm, and then the 110 connection. Battery recharge. So essentially I believe it is just a regular 110 goes into that and then basically charge your machine for when you need it. There are emergency stops at the top and bottom. For the emergency controls, there is a hand pump that's pretty much just above shoulder height. Just put the spool in for whatever your operation you need to happen, or whichever operation you need to release, whatever total power failure position it's in.
That has that safety pin in
Yeah, so the spool is there, so you gotta put that in there, and then the hand pump is, it's just new, it's a little tight, so you gotta work it a little bit, so be prepared to get a workout if you need to use it. And so it's for lowering the platform, for the brake release, and then for swivel of the platform and everything, and the lowering of the arm. So you'll see here for the driving it in the forward and reverse, lowering or raising the platform, steering it left to right, so like turning both the wheels, and then the swivel, so the actual like main base rotation, and then lowering or raising of the arm for the AMR versions only. So there is a little bit of a longer manual, but doesn't, it's just, that's available, and it's actually on the machine itself. This one is more of the brief one for training purposes. So we are all good to go to the actual machines and do live demos for both of them.
on these Genie lifts. They still have the 110 outlet.
Yes. So right now it's occupied by basically headlight, essentially. So you need to be plugged in for that to operate, and we'll go over that when we see it. Pull the arm out, and then pull it back in. Yeah, so there's your pin, and there's your spool that goes in on either side of that.
Gotcha.
And then if we follow the whole thing right here, I think you can flip it all the way, and then it sits there.
I'm a little too short.
You're good. That'll be there. And then just follow that diagram for all of the controls, or whatever the pin is, and then hand pump your way through it, because right now it's a little tight just based off of it being brand new.
Brand new, right?
And then you should be golden.